San Antonio starts right now.
Hi, good morning. It's a Wednesday, September 8th.
It's possible some of you are checking in now on the app because you just got to work. It's been an ugly morning commute for a lot of folks, especially over on the west side. Let's check in with Steven Cavazos for the very latest.
Yeah, Mark, Steph, there's been a number of issues out on the roadway this morning. We're taking a look at TransGuide here at I-10 at Heavener. Traffic moving slowly there on the frontage road. As you can see, I'm going to step back. We've had a number of issues out there. There was a crash that just cleared from that area. But let's go ahead and take a look right now at our maps as we do see that there is a crash still reported off Loop 410 eastbound at Perrin-Bidle. Seen some delays, and this has been the trending issue, these crashes that we've been spotting throughout the morning. As you mentioned, that we did have a nightmare situation out here off US 90 eastbound, Mark, at Nogalitos. A crash was causing some big delays, and if you did have our Sierra push alert, we did have traffic again back to back due to a crash out there. But again, that has since cleared, and it's looking pretty green eastbound on US 90. As we jump on over, though, we're seeing a slowdown here at Loop 410 northbound at Ingram Road. It's been a colorful start to this morning, but thankfully things look like they're clearing up and people are on the move right now, getting their day started. Just take it easy out on the roads. As always, we're watching things closely here in the traffic lab, but keep your eyes on the road as well. Mark, Stephanie?
Thank you, Stephen. Taking a look outside with Livecam, we're looking at 77 degrees out there, and we can pretend that we're not going to hit triple digits, right, for now.
We can pretend. You know, we may not get there today. It's going to be a close call. Yesterday, we just made it into the upper 90s. It still felt hot. We're still going to have a hot day. Right now, the temperatures are in the 70s. 79 at the airport. We're starting to see things warm up pretty quickly. A few 80s on the map already with clear skies. I would imagine these numbers will jump up close to 90 probably by noontime. Here's a look at the forecast next few days, and Steph mentioned 100. We're going to be right there each and every day. There is a 10% chance of a shower or storm in the hill country today, 100 tomorrow, 99 on Friday. Lots of sun to go around. Pollen count is in. Molds are moderate. They dropped from yesterday's very high number, 750. Fall elm is low, and here are the headlines. Breezy and a stray storm in the hill country today, as we mentioned. Those breezy northeasterly ones will help to dry us out. Humidity falls off. We're going to see some cool mornings. I say cool, we're talking upper 60s, low 70s, but that's better than what we've been seeing. And then by Sunday, some tropical moisture returns to the forecast, and that means some rain chances. That's something we'll be keeping a close eye on. We'll have more on that forecast for you coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Let's look at today's 9 at 9. At least one person is dead after a massive 7.0 earthquake rocked Mexico's Acapulco region overnight. The quake could be felt in Mexico City, over 200 miles away from the epicenter.
At least 40 inmates have died after a fire ripped through an overcrowded prison in Indonesia. Officials say prison guards could not get the cells open to release the prisoners. No word on how the fire started.
Governor Greg Abbott is facing backlash this morning after making new comments about the nation's most restrictive abortion law. The governor says Texas will work tirelessly to eliminate rapists instead of rewriting the law, which makes no exception for rape or incest.
Good news in the fight against COVID-19. The risk level in Bexar County has fallen to moderate. The positivity rate has dropped 3 points this week to 7.6%.
After 130 years, a giant statue of Robert E. Lee will be taken down in Richmond, Virginia today. State officials say the Lee statue is the largest remaining Confederate statue in the U.S. It will be housed in a secure location while a decision is made on where it will end up next.
Vice President Kamala Harris will be in her home state of California today, campaigning for Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom to keep his job. President Joe Biden is expected to join the campaign later this week. Conservative radio talk show host Larry Elder is the leading Republican candidate in the race.
Some Hulu subscribers will have to pay an extra $1 beginning in October. The company says the price raise only includes Hulu without ads and the regular Hulu subscription. Prices for Hulu Plus with live TV, the most expensive option, will stay the same.
Is YouTube becoming a thing of the past? New data shows TikTok surpassing YouTube in viewing time per user. On the flip side, YouTube still has more users than TikTok and leads in collective viewing time.
Live long and prosper. Star Trek Day has arrived. Fans around the world will celebrate the 55th anniversary of the premiere of Star Trek. Paramount announced plans for a new Star Trek movie expected to be released in 2023. And that's today's 9 at 9.
Top stories we're following today. A man is in the hospital this morning with a gunshot wound to the back.
This happened around 4 this morning at the Cypress Cove Apartments on Northwest Loop 410. That's not far from Ingram Road and Bandera Road. Police were called out to the scene for a reported shots fired call. When they got there, they found the man with a gunshot wound to his back. He was taken to the hospital where he is expected to recover.
Police say it looks like a domestic dispute. They believe the shooter may have been a family member. SAPD has not released details on the shooter. No word if charges will be filed.
San Antonio Police and Crime Stoppers are asking for your help in solving a pair of murder cases. First
one happened back in September of 2019 in the 3800 block of East Commerce on the city's east side. That's where investigators say someone shot 36-year-old Anthony Donnell Clark in the head from a distance with a high-powered rifle. Clark was pronounced dead at the scene.
The second murder happened in September of 2018 on the east side in the 5800 block of I-10 East, and police say 44-year-old Heron Chase was standing in the parking lot of Big Castle Smokehouse when he was shot by another man across the street. Chase died at the scene, and the shooter took off in a white vehicle heading westbound on I-10.
You have information on either of these homicide cases, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. The number on your screen in the yellow banner there, 210-224-STOP. And we talked about the COVID levels a bit in today's 9 at 9, but if you missed it, the COVID-19 positivity rate dropped another 3 points this week in Bexar County. We are now at 7.6%, and the risk level is moderate. In the past 7 days, we've seen an average of 1,200 cases per day in Bexar County. No new deaths were reported, but we're nearing 4,000 deaths since the beginning of the pandemic. This morning, more than 1,200 patients remain hospitalized. 19 of those are children. And we want to take one of your questions through the KSAT Trust Index. One question we've seen online asks if monoclonal antibody therapy is the same as COVID-19 vaccine. Here's what KSAT's Japhanie Gray found.
The therapy is used at the infusion center at the Freeman Coliseum, where more than 1,500 people have been treated since last month. Hundreds of people are also receiving the therapy in Kerrville. The president and CEO of Peterson Health says this therapy is used for people who are already infected with COVID-19. An eligible patient would need to get the treatment within 10 days of symptoms, and a doctor's order is required.
Therapy is to prevent hospitalizations and reduce viral loads. This therapy, it's effective, but it's not the replacement to get the vaccine. We still strongly encourage people to get the vaccine.
The COVID-19 vaccine is also known to help keep patients out of the hospital and is given before a person becomes infected with the virus. The protection of the therapy is limited. The Texas Department of State Health Services confirms even after receiving the therapy, a patient would still be advised to get the COVID-19 vaccine 90 days after treatment. As our Trust Index finds, the claim that monoclonal antibody therapy is the same as the COVID-19 vaccine is not true.
If you see something on social media, want us to check out that claim, go to ksat.com/Trust Index.
And time now is 9:06 and about 77 degrees out there.
The semiconductor chip shortage having a global impact on multiple industries. Later, how 2 Texas senators are hoping to fix what they call a side effect of a much bigger problem.
And after the break, 5 people in California being hailed heroes this morning after pulling a couple from a burning car. That story and more coming up in Morning Headlines.
9:10 in your morning headlines. More heroics from 5 guys saving an elderly couple, and a restaurant now has a drive-through the owner did not plan on.
Another out-of-control passenger on a plane, and a guy in Louisiana needs to take some acting lessons. David Sears is here to explain all of this.
You got to be really good if you're going to fool the police.
Ah.
You can't just,
Gotcha.
We'll get to that in just a second, but first we're going to start with more heroics. Ordinary guys pulling off the extraordinary. This is a car on fire on the side of the highway near San Diego. 5 guys going the other way, saw the flames, pull over, and then ran to help. You can see one of the guys is able to pull the driver out of the car, several of them carrying him to safety. They were also able to get the passenger out. Turns out it was an elderly couple in that car, Ken and Joanne Williamson. Ken, 92, Joanne, 90.
I we just saw this guy and he's stuck in his seatbelt. So we kind of snatched open the door and unbuckled the seatbelt, and my buddy Barry snatched him out of the car.
Even we didn't even realize there was somebody in the passenger seat. That's how much smoke was in the car.
Our dad had some burns to his left side. My mom got out with just abrasions.
Yeah, one of the heroes did suffer some burns and had to be taken to the hospital. So here's an interesting twist to the story. All 5 men are from the East County Transitional Living Center. One of them said the reason they stopped is because of the program. They're learning to look out for others. Now you're looking at a picture of a car in a restaurant. It's not supposed to be a drive-through. This happened in Worcester, Massachusetts. Here's the surveillance video from across the street. Here comes the car, and there goes the car into the building. Now, I want you to watch this again. I think we're going to show this to you again. Yeah, there's a person right here. Can you see that? Jumping out of the way. Ooh, that was awful close. Of course, smashes into the side of that building. So here's the good news. The owner, his wife, and their son were inside, but no one was standing at the counter when the SUV came crashing in, so they didn't get hurt.
I'm shocked and understand. And shocked, the big shock, because big noise. The first time the car inside the wall.
Yeah, not sure why the woman drove into the building, but she was disoriented and unclear about what just happened when they got to her. No word on her condition. The restaurant is going to need some work, though, before they can reopen. All right, here we go again. This is a passenger on an American Airlines flight right up in the pilot's face. This is while the plane is in the air. The guy is 61-year-old Timothy Armstrong from Las Vegas. The flight was going from L.A. to Salt Lake City when he started to lose it. He was even heard growling at the flight crew. Dennis Bush was sitting next to him, recorded the whole thing.
He would get up out of his seat. That really put other people, kind of on edge. We didn't know what he was doing.
The cops were there to greet him when the plane landed. He was taken to the hospital, then cited for public intoxication and disorderly conduct. This year alone, the FAA says there has been over 4,000 incidents with unruly passengers. 3,000 have had to do with masks. All right, you might have seen this video on social media. Guy actually, he gets hit by a car, falls to the ground. Oh, there's much more to this story. The guy has been arrested. You're looking through the lens of a backup camera on a Tesla, and you can see the guy, he walks up and then kind of stands behind the car as the driver's backing up. He doesn't get hit, but he acts like it. The driver took off, left the guy on the ground. The guy's 47-year-old Arthur Bates Jr. This happening in Slidell, Louisiana. Bates filed a police report claiming he suffered a back injury, leg and neck injuries. Fire truck, ambulance showed up. Police found the driver. He showed him the video of him backing up and the guy just falling. Bates later admitted he faked it. He was arrested for falsifying a police report. That's why I say, if you're going to do this, you got to be really good at it.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
goodness.
don't do it. Don't even try.
Yeah. No, I mean, you can do that in basketball maybe and get away with it, but not here.
Wow. That's
From a fake fall to a flop. Yes.
a flop? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
You get penalized in basketball. You get a foul call.
Yeah, but you don't go to jail.
No.
Right.
Right.
Enough of them you get fined, though.
Yep. And this guy's going to get penalized too.
Wow.
All right, David, thank you
The flopping call.
very
That's
much.
pretty good, Steph. I like that.
All right, earlier this week, we're talking about this day in history, tropical storm Hermine, and we're talking about another significant rainfall event.
It was on this day in 1921, guys, 100 years ago, that we started to get rain, and we eventually got the big flood here in San Antonio in 1921. Why is this significant? Well, obviously, it did a lot of damage in downtown San Antonio. Water was 10 foot deep in some of the downtown buildings, but it was this flood that spurred the creation of the Riverwalk and also Olmos Dam. So it was impactful here in the city and made a big difference. Now we handle floods a little bit better, but you can see some of the damage there back in 1921. It was one of the more significant floods, and it was even worse as you get north up towards Austin. They saw a ton of rain. So a little bit of a throwback there. In the meantime, we're dealing with some great weather this morning. Temperatures in the 70s. We started off pretty nice, but it gets better, I promise you. We're going to see some really nice mornings coming up. 78 in New Braunfels, 78 right now in Randolph, 82 Stinson, 80 in Devine. We're at 81 in Del Rio. And you look at the low temperature forecast, next several days, look at these numbers, low 70s. This is for San Antonio, so we're talking 70, maybe even into the upper 60s by Friday morning before the morning lows start to jump back up. This is actually pretty close to average, but we just haven't experienced it this summer because it's been so humid. The overnight lows have stayed rather warm. It's going to be a nice stretch here, I think, going forward. Humidity levels are still up there. We're still talking about low 70s, so we're still in the oppressive category. But this changes, I think, by this afternoon. Dew points fall off into the 50s, and then the next several days, we're talking dew points in the 50s and 40s. No heat index to speak of. By Sunday, the humidity and moisture does increase. We'll talk about that in a second. Outside, 79 at the airport, 82 Stinson, 78 Randolph. Not a lot of wind yet. I do think winds will pick up today out of the north and east. And notice there's a complex of showers and storms up here around Dallas. I think this actually swings, or some of this energy at least, swings south and west. And the whole country could see a few showers or storms today. Can't rule it out. So that'll be something to watch. Here in San Antonio, the rain chances really are pretty low, probably about 10% or less. And we're not seeing much cloud cover this morning. Forecast does call for some of those showers and storms to redevelop. This is around 5 o'clock today in the whole country. And then by the overnight hours, seeing most of that move west and away from us. So that's our one small chance of rain there. 10%. Temperatures still make it up to about 99 today. It will still be toasty. And we showed this yesterday. It shows the moisture in the atmosphere. This purple and blue color means it's really dry. High pressure starts to shift in. But notice by Sunday, we're starting to get some tropical moisture. And this looks pretty deep. Now, we're not going to see a tropical system, I don't think. But the moisture will be deep. And this should lend itself to some showers and storms by Monday and Tuesday. Probably our best chance for rain in the 7-day forecast. So here's how it looks. 99 today, 100 tomorrow, 99 Friday. But it's a dry heat. 98 Saturday, 20% chance of rain on Sunday, 40% chance Monday and Tuesday, guys.
Thank you, Justin. A local artist who uses walls as her canvas had to break down walls to get where she is today. Paula Sanchez has made a name for herself among muralists both here and in her native Puerto Rico. She's done that mostly by painting her nickname, Dane, in colorful letters. Sanchez is a trained artist and art teacher now, but she says it's been tough breaking into the male-dominated world of wall painting.
We're brought up in a way where, you know, we're supposed to be primed and proper. So I just like to break those norms of what women should be doing and shouldn't be doing.
And Sanchez is doing this and more in our San Antonio community. You can see more of her story in this week's episode, If These Walls Could Talk, and it's on our website at KSAT.com.
9:18, about 80 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA at 9, warnings from national security officials that terrorists could try to exploit the anniversary of 9/11 as plotters of the attack face a judge for the first time. The latest details from the courtroom.
9:21 on alert. The U.S. warning that foreign terrorist organizations will try to exploit the upcoming anniversary of the 9/11 attacks.
This as accused 9/11 mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and 4 others appeared in court Tuesday.
That's right. CNN's Alex Marquardt reports the U.S. still seeking justice 2 decades later.
Days before the somber 20th anniversary of 9/11, 5 of the alleged planners of the attacks have appeared in court for the first time in 18 months. The most famous, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, often called KSM, the accused lead plotter of the attacks that left nearly 3,000 Americans dead. The court appearance underscoring that 20 years after the attacks, this trial is still not over.
It's just one more example of how having this case at Guantanamo means a whole lot of issues that would not be in play if it were taking place anywhere else.
Today's proceedings were a pre-trial hearing for the men, one of whom is KSM's nephew. Family members of those killed on 9/11 were in attendance. Defendants wore traditional clothes provided to them by their lawyers. Journalists watched from behind thick glass in a gallery at the back of the courtroom on a 40-second delay to make sure that classified information was not revealed publicly. The charges date back to 2012, 11 years after 9/11. They include terrorism, hijacking aircraft, conspiracy, and murder. The defense team argues that interrogations that were tainted by torture done at so-called black sites should not be allowed as evidence. In the past, some victims' families have called for the death penalty.
It has to be the death penalty. It doesn't have to be an ugly death.
The proceedings have been delayed by all kinds of bureaucratic headaches and other issues, the latest among them, the COVID-19 pandemic. KSM had been charged in 2008, but former President Barack Obama stopped the case, hoping that KSM and the others would be tried in civil court in the U.S. instead, and Guantanamo would be closed.
I am absolutely convinced that Khalid Sheikh Mohammed will be subject to the most exacting demands of justice. The American people will insist on it, and my administration will insist on it.
A fierce political backlash reversed those plans. President Joe Biden hopes to succeed where Obama failed, closing the prison facility which was built the year after 9/11.
CNN's Alex Marquardt reporting. With the 9/11 anniversary this weekend, a joint intelligence bulletin has been issued by the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, and the National Counterterrorism Center.
It says they expect foreign terrorist groups will exploit the anniversary as well as the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan for propaganda purposes.
And it says groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS will use the anniversary in their media to help recruit and radicalize.
And time now is 9:25. There's a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9.
As we head to break right now, we want to show you an accident with SAPD on the scene. I-35 at I-37. It's on one of those ramps. Everybody's off to the left-hand side, but looks like we do have one vehicle in one lane of that ramp.
And jury trials in Bexar County back on hold due to COVID-19. So when can we start to see things pick back up again? A timeline on what to expect this fall after the break.
As millions of cars, computers, and planes sit unfinished or unbuilt across the world, there's only one tiny thing to blame: a microchip. How some Texas senators are hoping to fix that issue.
And welcome back. It's about 9:29. It's been a little over a month since jury trials were suspended for a second time due to the pandemic. There are a lot of cases being held up because of it.
But when will those cases go before a judge and jury? Erica Hernandez has an update on what we can expect this month and into the fall.
High-profile cases such as that of Andre McDonald remain on hold. McDonald, who's accused of killing his wife, Andreen McDonald, was expected to go to trial last month. But the latest health protocol issued by Administrative Judge Ron Rangel on August 4th is still in place.
A lot of folks that go in to get tested are still coming out positive. And so being in that moderate transmission raise still keeps us from considering in-person jury trials.
In March of 2020, there was 5,758 total pending cases. Currently, there are 9,303.
Now, that is a 62% increase, but that number is actually down by 5%, and that is due to the 2 months of jury trials that did take place this summer, as well as judges being able to virtually move cases along.
The judges have really learned how to use technology in a way that allows us to process cases efficiently. More than anything, we've had a lot of support from the sheriff, so we're able to do a lot of these hearings remotely through the jail.
As the Delta variant continues to cause problems in Bexar County, there is no way of telling when jury trials will begin, but Judge Rangel is hoping by early fall.
I anticipate, based on what local health authorities tell me, if we fall into the medium transmission range, which is possible to happen by early October, then we'll consider beginning in-person jury trials.
As for that Andre McDonald case, the next possible start date for that trial is October 22nd. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
And taking a look outside with Livecam, we have reached 80 degrees as things heat up out there.
And we'll probably be up around 90 by lunchtime. So it just gives you an idea how quickly things are warming up. Let's take a look at a picture here at our KSAT Connect. Got a lot of beautiful pictures in this morning, but this one from MOC, beautiful sunrise at Old Pearsall Park this morning. I'd say so. Great shot. I love the hill there in the background. We appreciate it as always. And looking at the temperatures at this hour, 78 New Braunfels, 77 Hondo, 81 in Devine. We mentioned some 80s already showing up. And a lot of places will be in the 80s here fairly soon. Rain chances, not much today. There's a 10% shot. I think it's mainly for our friends in Hill Country, not much here in San Antonio, and then definitely some dry days ahead. It's not until Sunday that we see rain chances return, and I think really our best chances will be Monday and Tuesday as some deeper moisture returns to the area. In the meantime, it's all about the low humidity, which we'll experience this afternoon. 99, the high temperature. There's that 10% chance of rain. And we could see some more triple digits in the days ahead. We'll look at that forecast for you, and we'll check in on the tropics too coming up here in just a couple minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. We still have a fender bender, a minor accident working at I-35 South at I-37. We are getting ready to launch a brand new streaming show called KSAT News Now.
The show will debut this morning at 11 from the KSAT newsroom, and that's where we find Alicia Barrera and RJ Marquez to give us some more details and tell us what we can expect. Good morning, guys.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. We're really excited about this. This is a brand new streaming show, digital. It's going to be on all of our platforms. That includes, of course, KSAT.com, our website, the KSAT TV app, and also on Facebook Live. So this is going to be a pretty cool launch that we're getting set for today.
Yeah, and the biggest question is, well, what is this about? It's actually, it's super short, so about 10-15 minutes is what you can expect, and we're going to be going through the day's top stories. You're going to be able to see more of our personalities. It's just going to be a good time.
Yeah, and I'm going to steal a line from our news director here. Maybe she's paying attention, but she said this is kind of like a bite-sized newscast. So basically, just kind of the information you need to know. Maybe you're taking a little bit of a coffee break, maybe a break from work, maybe getting a little bit of an early lunch. So, and we're also going to be doing kind of this like single topic sort of deep dive, a little bit more in depth into something that's sort of the talk of the day or a big story of the day.
And it debuts today at 11 a.m.
Very cool, guys. Well, what can viewers expect today?
Yeah, so we know the 20th commemoration for 9/11 is just right around the corner. So I actually went out to Bernie yesterday to learn more about a community event. It's called the Patriot Picnic, and it's open for all those first responders, military families, and it's happening at a legacy farmstead, and that's in Bernie. So we'll be sharing more about why they wanted to do this, why it's so important now more than ever.
Yeah, guys, and we're also going to get to hear from the viewers as well. Of course, a big part of KSAT News Now is viewer engagement, so we're going to share some comments on, we had a couple of Facebook posts saying just where were you on 9/11, so everyone of course always has an interesting story when it comes to that as well. And again, this will be on Facebook Live as well on our KSAT Facebook page, so you'll be able to comment with us, and we'll have our laptops here, and we'll be able to maybe share some stuff during our newscast, KSAT News Now. So again, this launches at 11 a.m. and yeah, really excited about this opportunity to be able to engage with the viewers and talk about some topics that are affecting us here in San Antonio.
Absolutely. We're really excited, and I hope you'll tune in at 11 a.m.
All right. I mentioned it earlier where you guys were still in bed, but break a leg and good luck today.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
See you online at 11 o'clock sharp. 9:34 right now, 80 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
And after the break, a look at today's consumer headlines with David Sears.
Welcome back, 9:38. Take a look behind us. Thousands of trucks sitting unfinished at a manufacturing plant outside of Chicago. The reason, you probably have already heard about it, the shortage of all those semiconductor chips. And the shortage isn't only vehicle production. It's also affecting things like computers, military jets, and even cell phones.
And those tiny chips can have a huge impact on global economies. Just yesterday, Senator John Cornyn and Congressman Mike McCall visited San Antonio to push for more investment into the country's development and manufacturing of semiconductor chips.
KSAT's Garrett Berger tells us how they hope to make that happen.
Whether you're looking for a new or used ride, the current semiconductor shortage has affected the U.S. car market. Because with the chip shortage holding up new vehicle production, there are also fewer used vehicles, affecting the price you pay.
I'd say for the last year, vehicle prices on the used car market have went up probably 20-30%.
But Senator John Cornyn says cars are just one symptom of a larger problem.
This is maybe just the leading edge of waking us up to the problem.
These ubiquitous chips aren't only in cars. They're in our phones, our jets, or as Cornyn put it, everything with an on and off switch. Speaking today at a roundtable discussion at Tower Semiconductor's San Antonio facility, he and Congressman Mike McCall highlighted potential threats to the overseas supply chain.
About 90% of these are made overseas, many in countries that are vulnerable to our adversaries.
So the pair are advocating for incentives to spur the production of those semiconductor chips here in the U.S. The U.S. Senate has already passed a bill that includes $52 billion to that end. The local Toyota plant stands among the supporters of the act.
Since a majority of vehicles that we manufacture are in the U.S., we think that this could support locally competitive sourcing.
The bill's now in the House, where McCall hopes to add a tax credit into the mix, too. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
A few other consumer headlines. Bitcoin causing chaos in El Salvador, and American Airlines pilots are planning a picket line.
Plus, Toyota investing big in the future, and Apple expected to unveil its latest devices. David Sears is back with all of these stories. Good morning again.
Well, it's like Apple thinks their day is a holiday or something.
For some folks, it kind of is.
So we'll get to that in a second. First, let's start with this. El Salvador became the first country to adopt Bitcoin as a national currency on Tuesday amid large protests against the move in the capital city. Bitcoin will be used as a legal tender along with the U.S. dollar throughout El Salvador. All businesses are required to accept it, and it can also be used to pay taxes. To use Bitcoin, residents will be able to download an app. When they do, the government is going to give them $30 in Bitcoins to promote the cryptocurrency. Social organizations have asked the government to repeal the law, expressing concerns over Bitcoin's volatility. However, El Salvador's government hopes the use of the Bitcoin will attract new investors to the country. Talk about volatile. When they did this announcement and rolled it out, it went down 20%. That was hurting. All right, pilots for American Airlines are set to hit the picket lines. The informational picketing is being planned by the pilots union over the next few weeks at several of the airline's major hubs, protesting their work schedule, fatigue, and lack of adequate accommodations. And as we showed you earlier, maybe getting harassed by pilots, our passengers. Toyota now says it's going to spend $9 billion over the next decade, ramping up production of batteries for electric cars. The world's largest car maker says it wants 80% of its vehicles to have some sort of battery power by 2030. While most will be hybrids, it expects to sell 2 million fully electric cars a year by then. And the most anticipated time of the year for iPhone users is almost here. Apple is set to host their annual event to unveil new devices and technology next week. Apple is calling the virtual event California Streaming. We could see the iPhone 13 along with new AirPods and Apple Watches. The event is next Tuesday, the 14th. Whatever happened to like iPhone 7? Is that out of date now?
Some of those work.
A little bit. My son still has a 7, but he wants to upgrade. But I said, do you want to stick with a 12, which is a great number,
right?
By the way.
Yes.
Or do you want to skip to the 14? You know, some people are a little superstitious.
I'm not.
13, yeah.
I'll take the 13. My mom was born on the 13th.
So there you go.
Yeah. All right. You have no problem with it whatsoever.
Nope.
Happy Apple holiday.
That's right.
Holiday. Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. Right now it's 9:42, about 81 degrees, warming up very quickly out there. We were talking earlier this morning, Justin, about the trade-off here. Lower humidity, but that means
higher temperatures in the afternoon. So that is the trade-off. See, I grew up in West Texas, though, so this feels good to me.
No big deal.
I'm okay with a little humidity.
Yeah.
We'll get some cool mornings, too, so there's that. That's the benefit. I want to talk tropics real quick, too, because we do have some stuff going on out there. As we look out into the Atlantic, we have a big old Hurricane Larry there that's going to get close to Bermuda, but thankfully not directly hit the island. It will kick up surf, though. There's another little area Hurricane Center is watching here just off the coast of Africa, about a 20% chance of development with this. We have plenty of time, obviously, here to watch that. And then back closer to home, disturbance here south of New Orleans. Now, the forecast is calling for this to be picked up and pushed out into the Atlantic. That's actually where it may develop. There's a decent likelihood of that happening. And then there's a tropical depression out in the Pacific. This doesn't really have much effect for us. So still pretty busy in the tropics. And I think as we get into early next week, we're going to get some tropical moisture in here. Not necessarily a tropical system, but just some tropical moisture. And that actually can be good. Just means some widespread rain chances. Outside right now, 79 degrees, mostly sunny, calm winds. Feels like 82, thanks to a dew point of 73. So yes, it is still sticky for now. I think this is going to change pretty quickly this afternoon. You'll start to see those numbers drop off, and then they'll stay low for several days. 79 Bernie State, 78 New Braunfels, here at 74 in Seguin, some 80s for Uvalde, Carrizo Springs down towards Cotulla, and just a little bit of cloud cover out there, not much. Don't think we'll see much today. Here's a look at the dew points. By this afternoon, we're dropping into the mid-50s, goes even lower next couple days. No heat index to talk about. And it's not until Sunday that the dew points jump back up into the 60s. So we'll enjoy a 3 to 4 day stretch here of some dry air. Satellite and radar shows we do have some storms up here around Dallas. And there is a little disturbance that is coming through Texas. You can kind of pick up on it here. That'll swing through, and there will be just enough moisture holding on here across the hill country that a few showers or storms, short-lived showers or storms, show up. But we're not looking for much on the radar. And really here in San Antonio, I think things stay dry. Here's what our computer model, one of our computer models, is showing. This is 5 o'clock today. 1 or 2 showers up there around Junction, maybe Fredericksburg. And then by 8, 9 o'clock, can't rule out a shower or storm around Del Rio. After that, it all moves out, moves away. And then we're talking about sunny skies from here on out. 99 degrees today, 10% chance of rain. That's that trade-off Mark was mentioning. Yes, it is drier, but those temperatures are going to be toasty next few days. And the moisture in the atmosphere, this blue-purple color showing that we're going to be looking at very, very dry conditions until Sunday. I mentioned that. There's that tropical moisture, and this is pretty deep, pretty impressive. Surge is in, and by Monday, I think we're talking about scattered showers and storms. And if the moisture is as deep as the models are indicating right now, I think we could get some good downpours. So the forecast kind of flips on us there early next week. Here's what it looks like in the 7-day. 99 today, 100 tomorrow, 99 Friday, 98 Saturday. And then Sunday, you'll start to notice some increasing clouds, 20% chance late in the day of some rain. And then Monday and Tuesday, 40% shot. Notice what that does to the temperatures, brings it down into the low 90s. But get ready for a hot stretch here, more dry heat ahead, guys.
All right, well, at least it's dry heat.
There's that.
Yeah. We'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Justin. Caught on camera, a great blue heron has become a hero for what it swallowed in New York City's Central Park.
I was just reading about this online, but I haven't seen the video yet. CNN's Jeannie Most tells us all about the tale of the disappearing tail.
Usually creatures in Central Park, like this mandarin duck, become celebrities because they're beautiful. But what's so great about this great blue heron is what it ate in a single gulp. That's an extra-large New York City rat on the losing end of the rat race. The video was posted to Manhattan Bird Alert, a Twitter account described as your soothing source for nature photos. Soothing? The heron may have speared the rat, then drowned it.
Dunked it a bit. They like to dunk in the water the stuff that they eat so that it goes down more quickly and easily.
Rats being rats, they get little sympathy. Sure, late night once celebrated Pizza Rat.
The internet blew up over this video.
Pizza Rat even inspired Pizza Rat Man. Someone tweeted philosophically, rat eats pizza, heron eats rat, the New York City circle of life. The Daily Beast dubbed the heron the most badass New Yorker. Another person posted, does this make that blue heron the new mayor of NYC? Because it should. As for how this moment stacked up for David Barrett, the man who captured it.
Oh, right at the top. This was exciting.
Though someone noted Sylvester Stallone did it first.
This is a rat burger.
There was one part of the heron video that seemed to get everybody. The tail, though.
It's like slurping down spaghetti.
When I eat like that, my husband scolds me, read one post. We once saw a rat about to be squished by traffic. Suddenly, a bystander came to its rescue. But there was no last-minute reprieve for this rat. The dining ambiance included music and crickets. Afterwards, the heron just vegged out, resting. No need for another meal that day.
And it probably didn't want to fly after taking down something so heavy.
Great blue herons, they're just like us, too full to move after, say, a turkey dinner. Jeannie Most, CNN, New York.
So, Steph, if you Google how many rats are there in New York City?
Oh, no.
There are 2 million.
Ew.
Rat population, about 25% of the size of the human population. So that means there's 1,999,999 rats left in the Big Apple.
They don't miss that one.
You're not missing that one.
No.
9:49, about 81 degrees.
And how many hours of your life do you spend trying to decide what to watch on television? The answer after the break.
We've done the math.
All right, we did it now. We just got her hyped up. Okay, ready? Come here.
I'm going to get a face full of. Hi.
Now she's
Jennifer.
so excited.
Hi. Oh, yes. Who is this? Yes.
So this is Olive.
Don't choke yourself, sweetie.
Olive, believe it or not, she's one of our seniors, so she's 9 years old.
That's a senior dog. Good Lord. What kind of vitamins you feeding her?
She's got the energy of a puppy, that's for sure. So she is available for adoption at our main campus, and yeah, she is a little ball of energy. She loves to play with other dogs, and just the sweetest thing.
And the great thing about a senior like that is you know exactly what her personality is, which is type A, and she loves plenty of energy, loves to play. She's going to be great with the kids still, even at 9 years old. She'd make a perfect companion, and short hair, easy to take care of, too.
Yes,
so.
absolutely. Say hello. You're going to look in the wrong way.
All right, and you're going to open up the doors to a whole lot of folks coming up in October, and you can join, right?
Yes, absolutely. So we have our annual fundraising gala. It's our largest fundraiser of the year. It is our Furball Gala, and we are opening up tickets to the public. So this event, it is a lovely sit-down dinner. We're going to be having a live auction, a silent auction. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we hope that everyone can attend. You can go to our website to look at more information on how to purchase a ticket and help support the Animal Defense League and babies like Olive.
Yeah, so it's going to be on the Wednesday nights, the 6th, 13th, and 20th of October. It's my privilege to be able to MC all those nights there. So well, I don't know about that, but anyway, yeah, if you'd like more information on buying tickets, you said especially for the 13th.
Yes, the 13th is when we have the most availability, and we would love for the public to come. And so, yeah, you can visit our website, adltexas.org, for more information.
All right, or head on out to 11300 Nacogdoches or the Paul Jolly Center across from the zoo and check out. Okay, ready to go, Olive? Go, run,
go get
squirrel.
Squirrel.
Oh, I better not say that. Sorry.
She books it.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, let's take a look at the high temperatures today. 99. Just a slight chance of a shower across the hill country, otherwise low humidity. Hot temperatures to finish out the weekend into the early part of the weekend. Sunday evening, we may see a shower and some better chances early next week.
All right, so we end with this story because we think there's probably a correlation to American TV viewers, but the shocking amount of time Brits spend deciding what shows and films to watch has been revealed.
So the study of 2,000 adults found people typically flick through 8 TV channels when choosing an episode and a further 9 film titles before making a final decision.
What's this mean? The average week sees 24 minutes spent deciding on a TV show and 25 minutes selecting films.
This results in 55 days across an adult lifetime choosing what to watch on TV and a further 57 days agreeing on a blockbuster.
Study also found females are more likely to be the decision makers, Steph, when choosing what to watch on TV, according to 67% of them.
Of course, and each month typically sees 2 household disagreements over what channel or film to put on. I can see that.
So the most watched shows over there in the UK, a series called Only Fools and Horses, Gavin and Stacey, and then a big one over here too.
Oh yeah, of course, Game of Thrones. Yep.
Most watched films there, Grease, Titanic, and one of my favorites,
The
Shawshank Redemption.
You know, I was wondering if they like Ted Lasso over there because he is.
That's true.
But apparently it's just an American thing.
We spent 55 days deciding this stuff.
They did.